If you're someone who's getting migraines, headaches, tension headaches on a regular basis, and you're tired of it affecting your quality of life, this video is for you. Migraines, cluster headaches, tension headaches, or just simple headaches. While they're all different many times, it's the same things in our environment and in our life that trigger and cause any of those. So let's talk about things you can do to prevent them from ever happening again. I have categorized this video in different segments: sleep quality, nutrition, hydration, stress, exercise and movement, environment, lifestyle, and then finally the key points when it comes to migraines and headaches. And while I encourage you to go through this whole video because you never know what you don't know, you can also skip to the part or the segment that you want to watch. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is your sleep quality. Here are tips on how to change your sleep and improve it. You want to go to bed at the same time and then wake up naturally if possible. And if you have to wake up to an alarm, please go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time every day. This makes for a really good sleep hygiene, and it will help your body regulate hormones that it needs to release because it's going to know when is what happening. Next, no LED lights after 4 p.m. Ideally, you're not in front of LED lights at all, but it's really impossible to avoid them these days. Get a blue light filter for your phone. It's an app. The way I teach my clients to do apps is download 4 or 5, figure out which one is the easiest one for you to use, eliminate all others, and use that one. The one I use is called Twilight. There are many others. You can set it up different ways so that it's on all the time, only from sunset to sunrise. The way mine is I just turn it on because it's always showing up in the notifications. Besides that, you want to go to the settings on your phone under display. Please set everything to dark mode. Choose adaptive brightness, which means when you walk into a brighter room, your phone gets brighter, but when you're in a darker room, it gets darker. Set on eye comfort shield and any settings you have for eyes and for the lighting to be darker. Set all your apps to dark mode. You want to also limit your screen time. There are apps that are blocking the other apps. I have an app called Stay Focused. I've used others. I think it was called App Blocker. Again, download a few, find the one that's easiest for you to use, remove the others. And what that does is I set them up for the social media late at night as to how late I can be on them. And then if I'm even on them, it just locks it and won't let me go on those apps. Another powerful way to do that with social media is to log out. Instead of just getting out of the app, for example, on Facebook or Instagram or whatever your social media of choice is, log out so that you actually have to log in every time you're on that app, which makes you think consciously, do I really want to do this right now? And a couple more things. You want to think about getting glasses to block out the light. Eating things like kiwifruit, tart, cherries, and pistachios is fantastic because they're full of melatonin and magnesium and things that are going to help you relax and sleep better. And lastly, on supplements, even though that's nutrition, I'm talking about a sleep supplement here. You can also get that or L-magnesium threonate. And I'll have the links in the description if you want to do your own research or look at the ones I recommend. If you're getting value out of this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I will be posting videos that are making you and your family healthier. All right, let's get into nutrition. What you also want to pay attention to is how many omega-3 fatty acids you're having. Things like salmon, supplementing them with natural omega-3 supplements, adding chia seeds to your nutrition, all while decreasing omega-6s, which means no seed or vegetable oils. This itself can eliminate migraines and headaches in most people, besides the fact that they are the unhealthiest oils that exist. For cooking, use olive oil, avocado oil. You can use coconut oil as well. That's more on the sweeter taste though. So we have omega-3, 6, and 9. 6s and 9s are what we get a lot of, especially 6s in really high amounts, and we don't get enough 3s. So just balancing this has been shown in studies to reduce migraines drastically. And here's a list of all the oils and how much of the linoleic acid it's got, which is the omega-6. Safflower oil, grapeseed oil, poppy seed oil, sunflower oil, hemp oil, corn oil, wheat germ oil, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, walnut oil, sesame oil, rice bran oil, pistachio oil, peanut oil, and canola oil. Mind you, We're talking about the oils. So hemp seeds are fantastic for you. Sunflower seeds are great for you. Keep in mind that whenever you're eating out at a restaurant or ordering food, doing your takeout food, you're eating food that is cooked on these oils. Rarely will you find a restaurant that's not using one of or more of these oils. Another note on these is many healthy snacks have seed oils. Many healthy chips, healthy popcorn, healthy whatever still have seed oils in them. So you do have to watch for all of the ingredients. I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, so I can never eat out. This is very limiting. I want you to know that you're doing this for a period of time long enough to see if your migraines, headaches have stopped. And also how you're feeling, because these oils are so damaging to our bodies that most people, if not all people that I worked with at this point, probably all, have ended up feeling way better mentally, physically, emotionally, just by eliminating these oils. Now, there's something called Elimination Diet. I'm going to talk about it for just a minute and tell you how you can do it to see if any of these affect your migraines and headaches. There are 5 main things that affect most people in a very negative way. Those are gluten, sugar, soy, dairy, and corn. So one way to do an elimination diet is to eliminate all 5 from your diet for at least 2 weeks and then slowly start introducing one by one at a time, giving it enough time to see if that's it. That tends to be way more overwhelming for people to eliminate all at once. Another way of doing it is reverse. So eliminate one at a time. Eliminate gluten for 3 to 4 weeks. See how things change. Then eliminate sugar for 3 to 4 weeks. See how things change. Then soy, then dairy, then corn. And the whole time you evaluate how you're feeling. Ideally, you are doing no processed sugar whatsoever. Fruit is fine, berries are the best, paying attention that they're not triggering your migraines as well. Next, what you need to do is start your day with a balanced meal. You should never be starving by any means. But starting your day with a balanced meal that has proteins and fats would be one of the ways to go about it. Pay attention to carbs. Many people have reported that carbs have been a trigger in their migraines. So you may want to start your day with a keto-ish, paleo-ish type meal. Adding a magnesium supplement would be a very powerful thing to do because magnesium deficiency can trigger migraines. Adding a vitamin D supplement and not taking it at the same time as magnesium because they don't work well together. Adding riboflavin supplement, which is one of the B vitamins. So one of the best things you can do is take a B complex supplement or nutritional yeast, which is personally my favorite. Again, I'll leave all the links in the description as to the ones that I use. Another thing you want to pay attention to is your insulin levels. In other words, Mediterranean diet would probably be the best to look into and try out. I'm not about dieting. I never like to put people on diets, but looking into how they live and what types of foods they eat would be very beneficial for people who have headaches or migraines because we're looking into ways of eating that's not spiking the insulin levels. So you don't want to start your day with carbs. You don't want to start your day with cereal. It's one of the worst things you can do for yourself. And now there's a few more spices / supplements that are also shown to reduce migraines. Taking ginger daily, ideally organic. You can make tea out of it, or you can just cut it up, add some honey and eat it up. Turmeric with black pepper is anti-inflammatory. Sagon cinnamon, spearmint, lavender, ginkgo biloba. All of these are fantastic things for you to add. And I know you're probably feeling overwhelmed right now, but here's the thing. I'm giving you a lot of information so that you can pick and choose what's easy for you to implement. There is something called a migraine tea that has most of these connected together. And again, I'll leave the link in the description so you can look it up yourself. Next thing I want to address is hydration. Drink water first thing in the morning with a pinch of Celtic salt. This is true sea salt that has all the minerals that our body needs. And remember, it's the lack of minerals that can lead to chronic headaches or migraines. Before your coffee, water with a pinch of Celtic salt. Drink water throughout the day, again, ideally with a pinch of Celtic salt. We need minerals in trace amounts, so you don't have to go nuts on that salt. And then eat fresh veggies and fruits to stay hydrated, again, because headaches and migraines can be very individual. Make sure to pay attention to what you're eating so you can track it and know whether one of these foods is causing your discomfort. When it comes to fresh fruits, do not eat them on an empty stomach because once again, we're not looking for that insulin spike. Insulin spikes have been shown to be a huge cause of many headaches, which is why a lot of people have done really well going keto-ish or keto, where they're not eating carbs. All right, this next category is stress. But we need to really take a moment to understand how awful stress is in our body. It is not a cool thing to be stressed these days. Everybody's so busy these days, so stressed out. It became like this medal of honor that people are wearing, like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. It is not cool to be stressed out. Short-term stress, very beneficial for our body, such as exercise, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Long-term stress, how people live these days, extremely bad for the body. So here are ways to reduce stress. One, you can go on a 7-day mental diet. It is one of the things that I start off all my clients with. You can go to my website, download it for free, sign up, and I'll send it to you, and you can get it started today. What that does is makes you aware of your thoughts throughout the week. And pretty much every time I had put someone on a 7-day mental diet, they would come back and say, oh my God, I knew I was stressed, but I had no idea I was that stressed. We need to know how stressed we are. Because when you're stressed like that, chronically stressed, you don't even realize it anymore while it's deteriorating your body, giving you migraines, giving you headaches, interfering with your life. Meditation is a really powerful way to reduce stress. Now, again, a lot of times when I start talking to my clients about meditation, they're like, oh, I can't do it. You don't need to sit there for 30 minutes without moving. You can do a walking meditation. You can grab an adult coloring book and spend hours coloring. Go do gardening if that's what you enjoy doing. Do something where you lose track of time. That will help you reduce stress. That will also help you be mindful, which is another practice that you can implement anytime, anywhere, because you are doing it as you go about your day, and that's being present in the moment. So if you're with your kids, be with your kids. Don't think about all the other things that need to be done, like laundry and cooking and cleaning and all the stuff that you got to get done for work. Because then when you're working, you are not with your kids, and then you're thinking about all the things that your kids should be doing. No, it's time to practice mindfulness and to be present in the moment. Sit down on your porch, sit down on your balcony, take your water, take your tea, and just be. You don't need to be scrolling on your phone. You don't need the TV. You need to learn to just be. You are a being, not a doing. With that said, breath work is something that you can implement, again, on the go. You don't want to take more than about 8 deep breaths, and all you want to do is inhale through your nose and long exhale through your mouth. You want to make that exhale longer than your inhale, but you still want to make the inhale long. So do it with me. Let's go for 2 more. Ah, how great did that feel, huh? Yeah. And make sure when you're breathing through your belly, by the way, not just your chest. And then one more thing to do to reduce stress, which this one takes time, but it adds up on all of the others, is learning to feel safe in your body, to calm down your central nervous system, to learn to listen to your body. Get out of the hustle culture and start thinking about connecting with your body. We live in this man's world where it's all go, 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 but we don't take time to learn about our cycles, to learn about our body, to learn about what our body is needing, how to connect with my heart, how to remain calm and calm down my central nervous system in times. Because maybe you've been in stress mode and survival mode for so long that you don't really recognize you're in the survival mode. But for as long as you're in survival mode, you're not going to de-stress. All right, if you're still watching, it probably means you're getting some value out of this video. So I'll ask you to hit that subscribe button because there's more videos like this coming up. The next thing I want to talk about is exercise and movement and how to do it properly and other things that you can do to help your migraines and headaches. You want to work out in a moderate intensity about 3 to 4 times a week. Listen to your body. When you really need a rest day, take a rest day, but you can go for a walk. Also, avoid exercises that put pressure on your head, such as doing crunches inverted or in Bosu ball, or doing heavy leg curls where you're laying down. Avoid such exercises because they actually put pressure on your blood vessels in your head. Stretching, especially your neck and your chest, your shoulders, and your traps. And you want to make sure you're doing this daily. If you have any neck issues, which most people have a straight neck these days, you really want to work on stretching those muscles. So I have prepared this short video to you to show you exactly how to do each exercise. So what you're going to need is a band, apply a little bit of pressure on it and start going back and forth as long as there's no shoulder issues, no shoulder pain. Every stretch should feel like it hurts so good. So you're slowly and carefully going back and forth as far back as you're comfortable going. Remember, when you're starting out, it's better to come back and do more than to injure yourself. And as you see now, I'm starting to pull my head back so that I get even more of a stretch in my chest and neck muscles. And you can do these 5 to 10 times. Here's from the side and here's from the front. Enough tension is on the band. You do not need to be going big or going home. Everything's done nice and slow. And then here I twist the band just enough to get even more of a stretch in my chest area and my pecs. Now I'm going to put the band behind my neck because I, for example, have a straight neck. Many people do. Now consult your chiropractor for this one, obviously, but what I'm doing is applying tension to the band as I'm stretching it out. I'm going to show you in a minute from the side, and I press on the band against my neck and I pull my head back. As you see, this is now making the C curve in the neck, which we all should have, while stretching my neck muscles. Again, consult your doctor when it comes to your neck, especially if you have some issues. Here I put the band on my forehead and go back with it, again to stretch my neck. Once again, you have to be careful with all these stretches because you don't want to start getting vertigo. You want to make sure that these are helping you, not harming you. So everything that you're doing, start very slow. Now I'm going to go ahead and stretch my neck. I'm using my hands to pull muscles down and pushing my head back to pull those muscles up. That way I'm pulling those neck muscles apart and getting even more of a stretch there. Now I'm spreading my hands and fingers a little bit wider to get even more of a stretch in the wider area. Going a little bit to the left because we want to stretch the whole neck. A little bit to the right. All these muscles tend to be really tight because we are facing down all the time with our computers and our screens. And again, sideways, now I'm using my hand to actually push more of a stretch. Once again, do this nice and slow. You don't want to start getting lightheaded. And lastly, stretching the traps, pulling all the way from my neck to my traps, dropping that shoulder down. You can even put your hand behind your back like that and stay there for just 10 to 20 seconds. Over time, increase even more. And we're going to do the other side. Make sure you're taking deep breaths the whole time. We actually get better stretch when we are breathing through the stretch. Dropping that shoulder, feeling that stretch in my neck and traps the whole time. All of this is more important to do regularly rather than how many reps you do. And one more thing that you can do with your traps and your neck is use Fascia Blaster. If you've never heard of it, it's in my description. Check it out. It is a fantastic tool to work with your fascia. Fascia is the connective tissue that's surrounding our whole body, but surrounding every muscle in our body. And if that fascia is tight, the muscle can't stretch itself either, relax or grow. So you definitely want to relax fascia around your chest, around your neck, around your traps. And here's how to do that. Okay, for Fascia Blaster, you need coconut oil and Fascia Blaster. There are different kinds. You can mix coconut oil with water or just apply it on its own. Apply to the neck and traps. Apply to the whole neck and chest area as well. And then take the Fascia Blaster and then work it from the neck all the way to the traps, and you'll see me in a minute working harder on the trap area because that's where I feel the tension is. So going back and forth nice and slow, applying a little bit more pressure. Nothing should be hurting. Doing the same thing on the other side. In the beginning you may want to do this for 30-40 seconds on each side. Eventually you may want to increase to a few minutes per side, but once again, consistency is more important than how long you do this for. So I'd rather you do this for 30 seconds daily than once for 9 minutes. And then if you see I'm working on my neck as well, very careful around thyroid. I'm not applying a lot of pressure here. These muscles are so tiny anyways, you do not need to be pressing much on them. It's just enough to get them a little bit stretched and moving a bit. And lastly, I'm going to work my chest, my pec muscles, one side and then the other, and then just a little bit in the front area of the shoulder. With Fascia Blaster, you can work the whole body, but this is just for migraines and headaches. All right, we're almost there. We're going to talk about your environment. Whew, this is a big one for a lot of people, but again, you can start changing this one at a time. You don't want to use anything with fragrance. Now, when I tell you this, you're going to go out there and be like, this is mission impossible because everything has fragrance. Most of the things do, but you can go to the healthy section at the stores to check out things that don't have fragrance. Laundry detergents, soaps, shampoos, conditioners. Please don't use dryer sheets at all anyway. When it comes to cleaning supplies, switch to baking soda and white vinegar. You don't need anything else but these two. Don't use perfumes or air refresheners. These are horrible for not only our headaches, but for our lungs and our whole bodies. Now, essential oils are okay in very, very small amounts. Some essential oils can help you, but some can actually trigger you because of such a potent scent that they have. If you're right now thinking, oh my God, I'm going to lose my mind, I got to change all these things, there's a way of doing it without losing your mind. And I go into a little bit more detail in my video on hormonal balance. So make sure to check that out after this video. And lastly, I want to talk about a few lifestyle changes that you may want to think about making. Please reduce alcohol to minimum. Besides it being a trigger, you can have a trigger from drinking alcohol, you can have a trigger from hangover, you can have a trigger from being dehydrated. It is a legal drug. It is nothing different. It is destroying your mind and your body. So please reduce alcohol to minimum. You do not even need alcohol, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just saying you want to love yourself enough to not do things that are causing havoc in your body. Please no smoking, cigarettes, vaping, all the same junk. They are triggering for your body. They're, again, creating a havoc in your body. So ideally, no smoking, no alcohol. Next thing is, while I love telling people to go out in the sun to get vitamin D, someone who gets headaches or migraines needs to watch out going for the sun. Ideally, you're not going out to the sun between the hours of about 10 a.m. to about 4 p.m. anyway. But if you go out in the sun, get these fantastic migraine sunglasses. They're basically reducing the light and helping you not get headaches. And ideally, if you can get in the sun right at the sunrise or sunset, that is still ideal for you. Please never be looking directly in the sun. I'll leave the link in the description to the migraine glasses that I recommend. Another thing to look into is if you're on medication, not for migraine, check all of the medications or any medications you're on if they have the side effect such as headaches or migraines. Very important to note, very important to talk to your doctor or healthcare provider about it. And if they dismiss you, please push for it because it's your health. Now, some migraines are caused by drastic weather change. So ideally, you're not living somewhere with drastic weather change. And if you are, if you have the ability to do so, you may want to think about changing because the pressure can cause your headaches And if your migraines and headaches are that frequent and that triggering, it just may be something to think about. Another cause of migraines or headaches could be that hormones that are out of balance, and for that I have a separate video on, to make sure to watch that as well. Lastly, what I want to address is the key point. Consistency is key. I gave you a ton of information. You're not going to go and apply all of that today. Pick 1 or 2 or 3 things that you know you're already close to doing and just switch on doing them, and then give it time. It takes your body time to adjust. It takes your body time to communicate. For some people, some of these things may work instantly. For some of you, it may take weeks. And for a very few of you, none of these things are still going to solve the issue of headaches or migraines, in which case I urge you to look deeper into stress. And I'm not saying that's what's causing it. What I'm saying is, generally, all other things equal, it can still be stress and stressful thoughts that are causing our migraines. One of the powerful ways to actually make these changes and track them is to keep a journal. Get an app on your phone that's next to you at any time. Track what you ate, how you slept, what you've been drinking, how much water you've been drinking, have you been eating out, how you felt, how has your stress level been. And yes, while all that sounds really overwhelming and like a lot, and like, when am I going to have time to do all that? Everything that you're starting out new is going to take you extra time. But wouldn't it be worth it to find out if the other side of it means never getting migraines or headaches again? But it's really important to slowly start making lifestyle changes while talking to a chiropractor, doctor, or whoever you've been talking with, so that you can track it together and you can report back to them the findings of these things. And remember, whoever you're speaking with should be asking you about your stress, about your environment, recent changes, nutrition, hydration, sleep, and not just give you a pill. And again, I'm not saying that pill may not be the answer, but a pill alone without a lifestyle change is like putting a band-aid on a dirty wound. Now, I want to hear from you. Let me know below in the comments if you've ever had these migraines and headaches, and what have you found have been some of the triggers for you. And of course, any question that you have, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. That helps me create more videos for you. Hit that subscribe button and check out the next video here.